Hi everybody, Jillian here. Welcome back to my channel for another Bible journaling entry. Today I am finishing up my You Bled series, which is where I was journaling the lyrics to a Rend collective song called You Bled in my journaling Bible. And so this is the 6th entry of 6. I'm excited to wrap this up and then start something new with you guys. I have a few ideas buzzing around in my head and I'm really excited to share them with you. I feel like God is absolutely directing me and guiding me in what to share with you guys. So much so, when I get that idea in my heart and I don't follow through with it for whatever reason, I find out that someone within the Illustrated Faith community is talking about that very same thing in the week that I would typically publish my video. That's only happened like once or twice. I'm pretty obedient, but I absolutely feel like God is having me share these specific ideas with you and these specific entries with you. And I've gotten a lot of comments that, you guys are saying this is just what you needed to hear and, yada, yada, yada. So it's really exciting to hear, and it just makes me fall in love that much more that He's involved with us, even drill down to that level, to what I share in my YouTube channel. So it's pretty cool, and just wanted to share that little bit with you guys. So today, for the last entry, I'm going to be using my watercolors. I don't use these a lot because, and I will show you why, these are very inexpensive watercolors. I think I picked them up at Michael's, and like this page here is just totally saturated with watercolor, and it's really chalky, like it comes off on my finger. So when someone is, flipping through my Bible, like this gets all over their fingers, or it gets on my fingers. I don't love it. So I'm not going to go for this look today where the entire page is filled up. Instead, I'm going to do just something a little different, just a little bit, and I'm really going to saturate this page. I'm going to soak it. So I have no idea how it's going to turn out. It won't be as quick as the other process videos, that's for sure, but we'll see how it's going to work out together. So the lyric that I'm journaling today says, "You left your perfection and fought for our redemption." Similar to the lyric in week 3, which I said something like, "You left your perfection and embraced our rejection." And so this is the last one I'm going to do, and it's perhaps maybe the most powerful one. So I had 2 spots I thought I might do it in. The first was Ephesians 1:7, which is over here, and it says, "In Him we have redemption through His blood, the forgiveness of sins in accordance with the riches of God's grace." And then verse 8 says, "that He lavished on us with all wisdom and understanding." I love reading this. It's so amazing. Another spot I thought I might journal in was Romans 5:8, which is on this page with the very first entry from this series. I don't have a problem journaling it over here if I have something on this side where the verse is, but I don't think I want to put these two right next to each other. And this verse, I feel like this verse is a little more appropriate for the lyric than Romans 5:8, which says, "But God demonstrates His own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us," which is still amazing, but I think it's going to fit a little better over here. And then I have all of this room in Galatians that I'm going to use up, because I don't think I'm going to journal any of these verses over here at the end of Galatians 6. No offense, Galatians, but that's what I'm thinking about. And then while I have you guys here, I'm sure you can see this entry here. I actually journaled a chapter in the book Fervent by Priscilla Shirer, and it's just super simple. It's just a couple stickers, a stamp, and then my handwriting. So just to kind of give you an idea of the different things that I do. It's not always with mixed media. It's not always, this involved. Sometimes it's as simple as putting a few stickers down and then just writing a couple sentences, and that's it. So I think I want to go with the purples, which I have not used yet. I'm really into lavender right now. And I'm going to use a water brush. I haven't had much luck with this thing. I'm sure it's just a user error. The tube is stained like a bluish green. I don't think that will affect my painting, but we'll see. And then I have some stamps over here. I just pulled out my stamp collection here. I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp the lyric out. And then I picked these up from Citrus Twists when they had a sale a few weeks ago. These were like 40% off, I think. And this was designed by Jesse Christopher, and they have a Grace Box subscription, and in it is a 3x4 stamp every month. I don't subscribe to that, but I go ahead and pick up things like this when they are discounted. And so I think I might use the crosses or something like this to embellish the page. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and prep my page here with my Bible mat so I don't get paint everywhere, because that always happens. And I'm going to get started. Also, I dropped these, which is why they look so gnarly. So make sure you don't drop these paints, because they will totally break and fall out of the pan. To start, I'm going to keep my paper towel close by, and I'm going to squeeze the barrel of this water brush and then just dip it in a couple colors to see what they look like exactly. And I think I'm going to go with the first one that I put down, this more purple lavender color, and then I'll go in with the other three just to provide some interest. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just putting down blobs of color like I would if I were working on another project. Typically what I would do is put down water on the page and then put the color into it so that the water just kind of carries it and it just does its own thing. It moves with the water. I choose not to do that here because I don't want to totally saturate the page and then have it take, an hour to dry. That's what the thought was here, and it didn't really work the way I thought it would. I'm going in with some different shades of purple here just to make it a little more interesting, and you can even see the page rippling here because it's so wet. So what I'm going to do is take a paper towel and then make a point out of the paper towel and then dab up some of the excess color and paint. Next I'm going to splatter paint around, so I put my notebook on the right side to protect that, and I just dip the brush into the pan of color. So I ended up having to kind of squeeze the barrel a little bit as I was tapping it, and just paint and water got everywhere. But I like the way that it looks, and then for the parts that have a lot of paint in them, I'm just going to go back with the paper towel and soak up some of the excess. I chose to go with purple not only because it's a color that I'm really into lately, because it represents royalty, and Jesus left his perfection, his throne, and came to die on the cross for us so that we might know him and have a relationship with him. And so I wanted to, include that in the page somehow. Okay, so while this is drying, I thought I would show you a few of the other tools I'm going to use. I decided to go ahead and stamp the words on here for the lyric, and I'm probably going to use this Color Theory Premium Dye ink. It's gray. I think I want to go gray and maybe even purple instead of, let's say, the Stays On Black and purple. Just so it's not so harsh. I know that this is a dye ink and it will probably bleed through to the other page, but it doesn't really bother me. The other gray ink that I have is an archival ink, and I know that will bleed through. So I'm probably going to use these, and then I'll put my Stays On within arm's reach because I'm going to want to use that for my date stamp. And then the alphabet stamps I'm going to use, I think these are from Stephanie. These were designed by Stephanie Ackerman. I'm pretty sure they're from Faith Documented, I think. I will listen below once I figure out for sure who makes them. So I'll go ahead and get these stamps out. So that's it. So I'm just going to continue to wait for this to dry. I have a heat tool, which I would use on this normally, but my son is asleep, so I don't want to wake him up prematurely. That's a nightmare. So I'm sure you can see here that even there's a ton of water on this page, and so even the spots where there isn't any paint has water on it, and it's totally saturated. Okay, I caved and I went ahead and used my heat tool and I dried this off. So you can see that it is very much warped. And this is what the backside looks like. It totally bled through. It doesn't bother me. That's like the tagline for my channel. It doesn't bother me. Anyway, so this is not like the paint technique, like this big blob here. It's not really what I was going for, if I'm honest with you. But I am a big believer in just moving forward and continuing on and then seeing where it goes. And normally when I do that, I end up really liking the final product. So if you guys ever do something like this and it did not turn out the way that you thought it would, I encourage you to just keep going and finish it, and you might be surprised and really like the outcome. So I do like all the splatters, but like this huge blob here, I'm not sure. So we'll see what it looks like once I stamp on top of it. But yeah, this is the back. It's super warped. I feel like it may not have warped this much if I had just let it dry naturally, but I didn't want to. I was literally watching paint dry, you guys, which is not my idea of a good time. So I'm going to go ahead, put my mat back under here, and then get started on stamping. Now that I'm done stamping, I'm going to do some more stamping. So I'm taking the stamp sets from Citrus Twist, and I want to use these 3 crosses around the word fight, or the word fought. That's where he fought for us. He fought on the cross when he died for our sins, and he battled death when he died and came back to life and overcame it. So I want to put these 3 crosses around it. So first what I'm doing is stamping it in this lavender color, and then I'm going back with the gray color, and I'm kind of offsetting it a little bit so that each cross has a lavender shadow behind it. And I like to do things in odd numbers, and I wanted to do it in 3 in this case because there were 3 crosses, and so I'm putting the 3rd cross kind of out there. There's no reason for it, like that's just the way that I liked it. So maybe you could say something like, well, that was the thief that continued to mock him and didn't believe he was the Son of God. Anyway, so then I went ahead and took the date stamp and stamped it as close to the binding as I could because I didn't really want it to interfere with the rest of the page. I'm noting that it's from the Bled series, and then I'm trying here to figure out a way to draw your attention to Ephesians 1:7. So there are a couple arrows in this stamp set, and I'm going to go ahead and use one of those and do the same thing, stamp it first in lavender and then offset it and stamp it in the archival ink. And then the very last thing I'm going to do is take the journaling pen, this is a 0.25 millimeter, and I'm going to write Ephesians 1:7 just underneath the N in redemption, and that's it. Not what I had in mind when I set out to do it, but I do like the way that it came out. It's definitely lyric focused, and it's a great lyric to contemplate. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check in on Saturday for a new Heritage Scrapbook layout share, and next Wednesday for a new Bible journaling entry. See you then!